Running Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJs with Running Back Philly, no frauds, no fanboys, no intros, Algo Gang. You know the drill. Hit the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. Only 30% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed. That is fraudulent behavior. This is the no fraud zone. And hit the notification bell if your notifications aren't working. Turn them off and turn them back on because YouTube notifications are weird sometimes. Yeah. Hey, you want a quality hoodie, man? Look at this, man. Soft, comfortable, and you get the Run It Back Philly logo, so go to the merch store. The link is in the description. You help me out as an independent content creator, and you get some comfortable, dope merch that's on there. The Fire Glenn t-shirts is on there. Don't think just because we won a couple games that it's not Fire Glenn season. It's always Fire Glenn season. And the Patreon. I want to talk about Tyrese Mack. I want to talk about Tobias Harris today. Edit, cut, no cuts, no edits. We do this live and we post it on YouTube. I want to talk about Tobias Harris today because people are kind of coming at me saying, listen, you owe Tobias Harris an apology. Look what he's doing through 10 games. And I got some comments, and I'm not going to slander him. I think he's doing great. I'm going to get into it. But I think I'm going to make a Tobias Harris breakdown of what he looks like so far this season, what he's doing differently on the court so far this season versus what he was doing last season, the years prior. And then I might throw in some of those plays, some of those play breakdowns during the Jimmy Butler era, because I think what he's doing right now is very similar to that. But if you want that play breakdown, you got to be a member of the Patreon. The link is in the description. Well, let's get into this, man. I want to let you guys know, first of all, that election season and all people are talking about on Twitter and the internet today is the midterm elections, and all of the Kyrie Irving talk is just a distraction to distract you from the fact that Ben Simmons got crossed up by Luka Doncic 2 days ago. I didn't get to talk about this. I didn't get to roast him for it. But look, it's to the point where he's coming off the bench for the Brooklyn Nets, getting a couple of minutes on the floor, bringing absolutely nothing to the team. And now the thing that he's been heralded for his whole career, oh, elite defense, but he's a great defender, Well, the player that he used to lock down, Luka, made him fall over with a crossover. So, get him up out of here, man. Retire, go be a Kardashian, give up basketball. You're done. You're done for. You're done. It's over. It's over. All right, let's talk about Tobias Harris, man. Tobias Harris has been having a great season so far. And, I think, I guess if the question was, is Tobias Harris disrespected? No, the answer to that is no, because Tobias Harris is the highest paid player on the team, which will always be ridiculous because Jimmy Butler left. We were stuck in this teeter where, oh my God, we can't let them both leave, so we gave Tobias Harris the max contract. He's never been worth that. It's not his fault. He's just not that good. And he's had some very poor performances in the playoffs and against lengthy, athletic, good defensive teams throughout his career and throughout his Sixers tenure. He has started this year, very well, playing his role very well, playing the stretch four, being a quick trigger, getting up three-pointers, focusing on stretching the floor, not being a ball stopper, not dribbling out the shot clock, things like that. He has been great so far this season, aside from the Milwaukee Bucks game and the Toronto Raptors game. We're going to talk about why. But so far in Tobias Harris, Tobias Harris' last 4 games, 16-4, 16-9, 23-9, and 21-8. So, shout out to Tobias Harris for what he's doing so far this season. And shout out to my guy, Sean Bernard. It's still early in the season, but the Sixers' leading three-point shooters are thus far George Niang at 50%. Bang, bang, Niang on fire to start the season. PJ Tucker at 45%, 10 for 22. Doesn't get up a lot of threes. We would like to see him probably shoot some more of those in the corner, but he's 10 for 22. Tobias Harris at 44% on 28 for 63. Tyrese Maxey at 41.8% on 33 for 79 after 2 very cold shooting nights. Tobias was well over 50% to start the season. So, I think he'll get it back. DeAnthony Melton at 34% and James Harden at 33%. So Tobias Harris is shooting 44% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. And I think that's really what I want to talk about because, we're going to bring up the full screen stats here of Tobias Harris' career stats. And when you look at the years, you can kind of look at what Tobias Harris is doing differently and how he's looking differently on this team this season. And what really stands out to me when you look at these stats is I wanted to go right to three-point attempts because that's always been my thing with Tobias Harris. Is he getting up enough threes to play his role the best? And his role on this team with James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey being the 1, 2, and 3 is to legitimately stand at the three-point line and shoot threes. And you can see throughout the course of his career, he wasn't a high volume 3-point shooter until he was in Detroit. He had a season where he was 5.8. He had a season in LA where he was 5.3. He had another season in LA where he was 4.7. And this is the interesting part. When you look at his first couple of seasons with the Philadelphia 76ers, and now I did that. I didn't want to do that. There we go. You can see that his first year with the Sixers, he had a 5.0 and a 5.0. And that's because we were running the ball through Jimmy Butler on the perimeter and Ben Simmons. I guess you could say Ben Simmons, but realistically in crunch time and in big-time games, we were running the ball through Jimmy Butler on the perimeter. Tobias Harris, you had Ben, Joel, Jimmy. You had a lot of J.J. Redick dribble handoffs. So really, Tobias Harris was in the same role, not the same structure, not the same fit and everything, but basically the same role that he's in right now, which is fourth option, catch the ball and shoot it on the three-point line. And he was doing that those first couple of years. That year that we had Jimmy Butler, he was doing that. He only shot 32 and 36% from 3-on-5 attempts per game. But that's really stands out to me. So then Jimmy leaves, and you get the 2 seasons where we're kind of stuffing the ball, with Ben Simmons at the perimeter, Tyrese Maxey being a rookie, and then his second year. Things were confusing really on the perimeter of the game. And Tobias Harris kind of struggled with that, and you can see he was only averaging 3.4 attempts and 3.8 attempts in those 2 seasons. Then we got Ben Simmons fraud behind, up out of here. We bring in James Harden, a true facilitating, against what Keith Pompey says, a true facilitating point guard. We run the ball from the perimeter more than we have in Tobias Harris's Sixers career, and he's averaging 5.7 attempts per game. So I think Tobias Harris is playing the role perfectly so far throughout the season, and he's shooting 44% from 3, and I got to give him a shout-out to that because that's the highest percentage of his career, and to be shooting that percentage on one of the highest attempt rates of his career is great also. I hope he can keep it up. I will say this. I am not entirely sold on Tobias Harris, and this is what I mean. Tobias Harris is a fourth option. I think he's playing the role of the fourth option perfectly right now. I think when you play a game without Joel, without Tyrese Maxey, maybe without James Harden, without him for a month, but when you're in a situation where, and even those games against the Toronto Raptors, the one that we lost 119-100 earlier in the season, when Joel Embiid's struggling or is not in the game and you need somebody to step up, Tobias Harris is not going to be that guy. So everybody coming at me saying I owe Tobias Harris an apology, or all of the people that slandered Tobias Harris owe him an apology, whatever. It's ridiculous. He's a fourth option. I think he's playing it well. But let's not overblow this and act like Tobias Harris is suddenly worth that $180 million contract that he has, because he's simply not worth that money. We have accepted that he's not worth that money, and he's a role player on this team, and I think he's doing a good job being a role player on this team, and I hope he can continue it. But, stop coming at me acting like Tobias Harris is having some kind of superstar season and he's worth this max contract, and I need to apologize to him because it's ridiculous. Speaking of which, the 2 games so far this season where he actually played length and defense, he had 9 points against the Milwaukee Bucks, and he had a whole whopping 3 points in 33 minutes against the lengthy defensive Toronto Raptors. So keep that in mind. When you do play a lengthy defensive team, Tobias Harris is going to disappear. It's happened over the course of his career. It happens in the playoffs. It'll probably happen in the upcoming playoffs. I just wanted to make this video telling you guys to calm the hell down. I think he's doing a great job. I hope he continues it, but stop blowing this up like he's worth that contract and I owe him an apology. It's absolutely ludicrous. All right? Now, a couple more things here before I get up out of here and move on with my day. I didn't get to talk about this yet, this Joel Embiid thing, and it bothers me. It bothers me. So 2 days ago, Joel Embiid was quoted after the Sixers win saying, "Our season started tonight. The Phillies are done. I enjoyed watching them, so our season started tonight. The other games don't count." I get that Joel Embiid is the jokester of all jokesters, and he's funny, and everybody loves him because he tells jokes, and he's Troel Embiid, and blah, blah, blah. But this is not funny to me. I don't know who else thinks this is funny. This is not funny. This is a 28-year-old veteran NBA player who came out to start this season and looked horrendous. His effort was not there. His conditioning was not there. They blamed it on plantar fasciitis. I don't believe it, by the way, or they would have said that in the offseason. So you came out and looked like trash for a couple games. The fan base is like, what the hell is going on? Then you sit out a couple games, and now you come back and make a joke about the beginning of the season. It's ridiculous. I think this is immature, and I'm not a fan of this at all, because the fans pay money to come to the games, to watch you perform. You showed serious lack of effort and disinterest the first couple of games of the season, and then you come out and make a joke about it and say those games don't count. Just based on this, Joel, I need you to grow up. That's where I'm at with that. And if you disagree with that, that's fine. Go ahead and tell me in the comments how you disagree with it, all right? Some more fun things for the Sixers. The Sixers assigned Jaden Springer back to the Delaware Bluecoats, their NBA G League affiliate. They called him up like 8 hours ago, and then they sent him back down. I don't know why this is. They keep giving him the last roster spot and sending him back down. It's just ridiculous. At what point do you feel like you're going to need Jaden Springer? I don't know. It blows my mind that we cut Isaiah Joe and kept this kid on the roster. It blows my mind that we cut a 6'10", 250-pound backup center who can block shots in Charles Bassey and kept this kid on the roster. It is a pride thing. It is a money thing because they drafted him in the first round. It was a terrible pick. He can't play in the NBA. Let's knock it off. And last but not least on the agenda today, we have a video of Tyrese Maxey interviewing Paul Reed, and I think it's interesting because he asked him a question about his defense against the Phoenix Suns. And, you know, it's that perception that I'm getting that every player thinks Paul Reed should be on the floor. Every fan thinks Paul Reed should be on the floor at the backup center minutes. It's been 2 years now, and Doc Rivers is really the only one that doesn't think that. But this is a fun interview of Tyrese Maxey asking Paul Reed some questions. Gotta love Tyrese Maxey. Just an adorable human being he is.
All right, guys, we're here with B-Ball Paul.
I think I did all right. I came in, gave our team a little fan. You know, I'm just happy we got the win.
So, my question to you is, when Book and those guys are coming off the ball screen, like, what is your mindset when you're in defending? Because you get your hands on a lot of deflections, like a lot of balls. You rebound as well. You run the floor. So, what's your mindset when you come in the game?
Somebody show this to Doc Rivers, man. You get your hands on a lot of deflections. You run the floor. Yeah. He played him for 12 minutes last game against the Phoenix Suns, and we win. I think he's the backup center moving forward. I thought that last year when Doc played him against the Toronto Raptors, and then he reverted, and then he refused to play him to start this season. We'll see if he continues. I have no faith in Doc Rivers, but we'll see if he continues to play him at the backup center.
We're just trying to be disruptive on defense, man. They coming off the ball screens, the ball loose. You know, I'm poking at it.
At the end of the day, my last question is, are you still in the mud or have you got out the mud?
I ain't gonna never leave the mud.
All right, Paul.
So there you have it. By the way, you NBA reporters need to catch up, man. Tyrese Maxey's doing the job that all of you need to be doing. Okay, you need to step your game up. You guys know who the reporters are that I'm talking about. One of them just put out another article today saying that Joel Embiid looked more comfortable in the Phoenix offense because he was initiating the offense. That's, again, entirely not true. We were initiating the offense from the perimeter with pick and rolls with Tyrese Maxey, pick and pops with Tyrese Maxey, pick and rolls with the Anthony Melton, pick and pops with the Anthony Melton. Joel Embiid was playing center. He was rolling to the rim. He was popping to the elbow. He was finding his spots. He was not initiating the offense. That's a terrible argument. Anyway, that's all I got for today, man. Be sure to join the Patreon for the play breakdowns and go to the merch store. Other than that, man, thanks for tuning in, and y'all have a fantastic day.